Hi, hello, how are you all? Welcome to my channel Law Made Simple with me Vidya Reddy. Today in the series of labor law episodes, let us learn about child labor. What are the provisions related in prohibiting the child labor? Children need to grow in an environment that enables them to lead a life of freedom and dignity. Opportunities in education and training are to be provided for them to grow into worthy citizens. Unfortunately, a large proportion of children are deprived of their basic rights. They are found working in various sectors of economy, particularly in the unorganized sector. Some of them are confined and beaten and reduced to slavery or denied freedom of movement, thus making child labor a human rights issue and a developmental issue. Coming to the definition of a child. Article 1 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of a Child defines child is the one who is anyone below the age of 18 years. And the Child Labor Prohibition of Regulation Act 1986, it says that child is a person who has not completed his 14th year of age. Coming to the meaning of child labor. Child labor is defined as any work within or outside the family that involves time, energy, and commitment which affects the ability of a child to participate in leisure, play, and educational activities. Such work impairs health and development of a child. According to International Labour Organization, child labor includes children prematurely leading adult life, working long hours for low wages under conditions damaging to their health and their physical and mental development. They are often separated from their families and deprived of meaningful education and training opportunities that would offer them a better future. So all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years who should be in the school but are out of the school are deemed to be actual or potential child laborers. India is much of rural phenomenon than urban. So in rural areas we found 90.87% of the working children and in urban areas 9.13%. What are the adverse effects of child labor on health of the children? Children working for long hours often are in dangerous and unhealthy conditions because they get respiratory problems like asthma, tuberculosis. They are very weak, they have stunted growth, they have body aches, joint pains, poor eyesight, and other eye related problems, loss of appetite, tumors, burns, disability by working on looms, susceptibility to arthritis as they grow older, mental disabilities, and many other disabilities are there. What are the salient features of Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986? It prohibits or bans the employment of any person who has not completed his 14th year of age in occupations and processes which are enlisted in Part A and Part B of the schedule of this Act. It lays down a procedure to decide modifications to the schedule of banned occupations or processes. It regulates conditions of work where children are not prohibited from working. It lays down enhanced penalties for the employment of children in violation of provisions of this Act or any other Act. So Section 14 of the Act provides for punishment for 1 year or a fine up to 20,000 rupees or sometimes both whoever permits any child to work in contravention with the provisions of this Act, which are mentioned in Section 3. So the child employed in occupations and processes which are not banned by the Act are also regulated by certain provisions. A child shall not be required to work for more than 6 hours a day and should include all his break hours also. The period of work of a child shall be arranged that he should get enough rest, and under subsection 2 he shall not be spread over more than 6 hours including the time spent waiting for work on any other day. No child shall be permitted to work between 7 pm to 8 pm, no overtime work, and every child should get a weekly off, and there is an obligation on the employer to furnish information to the inspector regarding the child work and employment of the work, and the employer must maintain a register regarding the same. So let us look into the object and scope of the child labor based on this Prohibition and Regulation of Child Labor Act 1986. There are a number of enactments which prohibit the employment of children below 14 years and 15 years of age in certain specified employment. However, there is no procedure laid down and there is no law relating to the employment and occupations for the process of the children. But as there is no law to regulate the working conditions of children in most of the employment where they are not prohibited from working and working under exploitative conditions. So, the Child Labor Prohibitions and Regulations Act has been enacted to prohibit this engagement of children in certain employments. Those are to ban the employment of children who have not completed 14th year in specified occupations and processes, to lay down a procedure to decide modifications to the schedule of banned occupations and process, to regulate the conditions of work of children in employments where they are not prohibited from working, and to lay down enhanced penalties for the employment of children in violation of provisions of this act, and to obtain uniformity in the definition of child in the related laws. So these are the objects, and there is a scope of this act in the future coming generations. As such, we have come to the end of the session. It's riddle time. Please answer the riddle in the comment section, and please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much.